ya Rais Uhuru Kenyatta ya hapo jana. Tusikize kwa sasa Spika Muturi akizungumza.
That has not happened as yet, and therefore the two houses continue with their short recess. But as you know, the matter of the Covid-19 pandemic is one that is of great moment in the country and indeed in the whole world. There are certain pronouncements that have been made, and we also, as leadership of the institution of Parliament, have been called upon to come and make some announcements. We will speak on behalf of ourselves as the two speakers of the two houses of Parliament. And therefore, I'll call upon my colleague, my brother, the Right Honorable Ken Lusaka, to come and make the appropriate announcement. My brother.
Thank you very much, my brother Justin. Like you have been told, all of us are aware of what is going on in the world and Kenya. And I was saying that the president yesterday did make some pronouncements and called on other leaders also to take a cue, because this time calls for individual sacrifice and collective sacrifice. And we have consulted with my brother here, and like I said, we speak up for ourselves because we are on recess, and members of Parliament and both senators and members of National Assembly are still away. And we have also agreed that we are going to take a salary cut of 30% of our salary for the next 3 months until the situation improves. But for members of the National Assembly and members of the Senate, consultations are also going on, and in due course we'll also be telling the country on measures that will be taken both as individual members of the National Assembly and Senate and as an institution of Parliament on how we can also support this process or support what the President has called on us as leaders to do. So we have committed ourselves, and like I've said, and we'll be telling you in due course other measures that we shall be taking both as members of the National Assembly and Senate and as an institution of Parliament. I think that is the announcement that we wanted to make. Maybe we'll take a few questions. Okay.
Quick question, Chris Taylor from KTN. I know the Speaker is the chairman of the Parliamentary Service Commission, which really handles the matters to do with the salaries and remuneration of members. I don't know what will be your position since you're the Speaker. And the second question will be, we've seen efforts by some members of Parliament trying to write to the majority of the National Assembly so that he can collect the signatures and seek for a special sitting. If that was to happen, how will you ensure that you observe the rule of the social distancing, knowing that the members will finally be in the House? Thank you.
Unfortunately, I touched my face. Thank you, Chris. In fact, there is no requirement for members to collect signatures. All that is required is to state the business that that the House needs to be recalled for a special sitting to come and transact. So I would advise or just remind those members who might have forgotten the rules that there is no requirement for collection of signatures. That is unnecessary. If indeed, and we believe there could be, because these are extraordinary times, there could be reason for urgent business to be transacted. The leaders, as I indicated earlier, would just write to either of us. And we are obligated, for the case of the National Assembly and Standing Order number 29, to recall the House indeed to even gazette the particular special sitting, while also indicating the business to be transacted. Now, you've asked a very interesting question about social distancing. Of course, the National Assembly chamber is designed to accommodate 350 persons seated. As you know, the Constitution also, quite curiously, provided that the National Assembly cannot transact any business unless there are present a minimum of 50 members and 15 members in the Senate. So therefore, we would have to begin working on logistics in the event we were to receive such a request, because of course, if we have 350 members, we are unlikely to be able to practice that requisite 1 meter distance from one another. And of course, we cannot also be oblivious to the fact that some members are a bit scared of congregating. So when the time comes, I'm sure our technical staff will sit with us and advise how best to deal with such a request should it arise. But I believe it should be arising. Yes?
My name is Gashuri from Citizen TV. Two questions. One, some of the tax measures that the President talked about yesterday are effective 1st of April 2020. And if the House does not sit before then, can these measures be implemented? For one. And number two, do you think, in your opinion, as the speakers, the House is broke a bit too early before maybe offering a substantive solution legislatively on some of the situations that we are finding ourselves in over this coronavirus pandemic?
Well, if I could start with the last, whether the House is broke too early. Remember, our own calendar for the National Assembly was such that we were due to go to recess on Thursday, 19th of this month. And therefore, really adjourning on 17th cannot be said to have been too early, given the fact that the first announcement on the first case had already been made. And we had to take precautions so that we would be sure rather than sorry. So it was. I cannot say that it was premature. Neither can I say the same even for the Senate, because we had to go and allow everybody sufficient time to stay at home, practice the various measures which had been recommended by the Ministry of Health and the team which is dealing with the pandemic, and also to allow the Parliamentary Service Commission. If you look at if you read the motion of adjournment, it was also to allow the Parliamentary Service Commission, through its staff and through the formation of a special committee of senior members of staff, to make arrangements, put in place mechanisms of ensuring that whenever it will be that the houses have to come back and sit, at least certain measures have been put in place to ensure that there is frequent hand washing, not an erratic one. Remember at that time everybody was buying all manner of things, sanitizers, everybody was in a panic. But now we've had sufficient time to reflect on what needs to be done, and I'm happy to announce that the staff of Parliament have done a commendable job and put in place mechanisms of fumigating most of the places, the two chambers, all the committee rooms, so that at least everybody, whenever we are required to be back, everybody will feel safe and secure in the knowledge that no infections could come by their way while sitting either in a chamber or in committee. But of course, the challenge is that one of social distancing. Francis, you raised the issue of measures raised by the president yesterday, coming into place from 1st of April. That is not a challenge. That is Wednesday next week. It is not a challenge. As you know, Houses of Parliament are able, through the various mechanisms provided in the standing orders, to make arrangements as soon as we receive the legislative proposals, the bills, because they must originate from the executive. It is the president who directed, not Parliament. He did not direct Parliament. He directed the National Treasury to move to Parliament. They will not just walk on their 2 feet. They walk here with the bills, so that then, once we receive them, we will make appropriate arrangements. And I don't think that is a challenge for us to meet those objectives. Thank you very much.
Then there is the question. Probably you said that
Na mtazamaji, huyo ni spika wa bunge la taifa Justin Muturi akitoa tangazo la kwamba yeye na mwenzake Ken Lusaka wa bunge la seneti wamekubali ule mkato wa mishahara ya 30%. Kumbuka vile vile mawaziri pamoja na makatibu walipendekezewa kujikata mshahara wao kwa 30%, na Rais Uhuru Kenyatta hapo jana, ambaye yeye na naibu wake walipendekeza kukatwa 80%, kutoka kupata mshahara wa zaidi ya shilingi milioni 1.2 hadi kila mtu chini ya 300,000. Rais na naibu wake William Ruto. Tutakuwa tunaangalia mapendekezo hayo na hiari hizo zitakavyotekelezwa baada ya kupata taarifa hiyo kutoka majengo ya bunge. Tusonge mbele. Wakati huo